Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a video that is kind of a rundown, if you will, of what to bring when you travel with type 1. And tips. There's going to be some tips too, I think. If you didn't know, I love traveling. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I travel a lot for work. Next week I'm actually going to... Where am I going next week? I'm going to Tampa and Atlanta for a work trip, so unfortunately I'm not taking you guys with because it is work. But little background on what I do. I'm a project manager / engagement coordinator for a very small company. I don't really have to talk too much about my job because I like to keep that area of my life a little private, but that's kind of what I do. Let's start with the basics of what to bring. Obviously you want to bring your insulin pump supplies or your insulin pens, syringes, whatever you use to give yourself insulin. You want to make sure you have an abundant amount of. I feel like I can't stress that enough. Make sure you have extra. When I do travel, I try and bring a site change for every day that I'll be gone. So I'll be gone next week for 4 days. So I'm gonna bring 4 of these. Realistically, I'll probably need to change my pod once, maybe twice, because I do get pod fails all the time randomly. Like, I have no idea why. But, so I'll bring one just in case I have to change my pod every day, that I'll be covered. One of the reasons I love Omnipod is because it comes in this tiny little package. It's all there. The syringe is there, the pod is there. Everything you need for a pod change is in this little guy. I was previously on Tandem and I love Tandem, but you had like the syringe, the top of the syringe, the body of the syringe, I'm pretty sure I'm using the wrong words, the cartridge, the infusion set, the tube, like it was all about 12,000 parts, and the Omnipod is just this. So I love Omnipod for that. They make my traveling life so much easier. Now, I won't have to change a Dexcom while I'm gone, but just because you never know, I'm gonna bring one, because you can never, guys, I can't stress this enough, you can never not bring enough supplies. I think that makes sense. Just always make sure you have extras. Another thing that kind of goes along with the basics of bringing your extra supplies is alcohol swabs and skin tack away. Here's my little array of them. Ooh. For the longest time, I used the liquid bottle version of skin tack, which it's a little clunky. It's like you gotta dry it off when you, I don't even want to open it because I'm just nervous it's gonna fly everywhere. But then I realized they have wipes. So this has been, didn't mean to do that. This has been a huge game changer when I travel because I don't have to worry about putting this in like a little bag and then like I have to worry about it spilling all over my bag and whatever. I always apply skin tack with my Dexcom, so if I know I have to do a Dexcom change, I will 100% make sure I have extras of these. But since I don't think I'll have to do one, fingers crossed, I'm only gonna bring like 2 skin tack wipes. I personally feel with every skin tack wipe that you bring, you should bring it's backwards, skin tack away. So these two, in my oh so humble opinion, should go hand in hand because this takes skin tack off so quickly. It's also, I think, meant when you take your site off like at the end to get like the residue off, but I use it to get it off like right, like all the extras off. You saw me use this the other day in my vlog. Another necessity to bring is alcohol swabs, especially if you're changing your Dexcom or your site on the go, because who knows what germs are out there. Here's a little side note, funny story about IV prep. I brought this on a trip once thinking it was another version of skin tack because I didn't have these wipes yet. So I wiped it all over my site because I was doing a Dexcom change. I was like, cool, we're all good. But I was like, it's not sticky. And then I was like, oh, this is another version of an alcohol swab, not skin tack. Just the extras that I like to bring without going into a whole long tangent. Pretty sure that's the wrong word, but it's okay. Skin tack away, and alcohol swabs, which can also be called skin prep. Obviously, one of the most important things to not forget is your insulin. I think we've all had those moments. I know I have, where I start to drive away. I have all my stuff in my car, start to drive away, and I'm like, I don't know if I grab my insulin, and then, you know, you look and hopefully you have it in your car. But one of the things I love to travel with is this insulin vial protector. You put it over top of your insulin and then it kind of keeps the vial safe from cracking if you dropped on the floor or whatever. When I was in Colorado, this saved me because I dropped my insulin vial on the tile floor in the bathroom. And because I had this on there, it didn't break. Now, I do like to bring different bags with me depending on how long I'm going. If I'm going for a long period of time, like more than 4 days, I'll bring my wherever you go bag, or if I'm gonna need to bring 2 Dexcom changes, just because this can fit everything and it's just perfect. For my trip next week though, I think I'm gonna bring this bag, which is one of my favorites. It's just a little bag from Target. You can put your Omnipods in here. Your Dexcoms don't really fit, but since I'm only bringing one, I'm just gonna kind of throw it in my suitcase. But you can put all your syringes and everything in here. Whatever else you need will fit in here. And this is only $5. I think I can find the link and put it down below. This is one of my favorites to bring just because I think it's so funny. All my diabetes shit, and let me tell you, all my diabetes shit does fit in here. I will also link this below because I know a ton of people love these. If you're going somewhere that is warm, I can't stress enough, I know I said this kind of the last in my Colorado vlog, bring a Frio. It just, oh, it saves. Since I'm going to Atlanta and Tampa next week, which is Florida, and it's hot in Florida, and it's July, I'm definitely gonna be bringing my Frio. So those are kind of things that I like to take with me. Some of the bags I like to bring, obviously all my supplies, the things I like to put my insulin in and everything like that. Some of the tips that I have for TSA, my main tip for TSA is be nice to them. In my experience, I know people have had other experiences that were not so good, but in my experience, if you're kind to them, they will be kind back to you. Obviously their job is like annoying and they're dealing with people all day, so they might not be in the best mood, but if you can be nice to them, even though you might be stressed out, that is like my number one recommendation. My other thing is TSA pre-check. Now, I think I did this a few years ago, so I can't really remember. I don't know what you have to do now to get it, but when I did it a few years ago, you had to apply for it and then go to an interview with TSA to kind of let them know that you are a low-risk traveler, because essentially that's why you get TSA pre-check. It's because you're not at risk for like pulling any funny business, if that makes sense. What TSA pre-check is you can go through the line without getting any of like your liquids in your bag out. You don't have to take your computer out. You don't have to like open your bag. I mean, if they have to search your bag, you obviously have to open your bag, duh. But you don't have to do any of the stuff that the normal people do. That has been a huge lifesaver for me personally. I think TSA pre-check is totally worth it with diabetes alone, because if you have all of your stuff in your bag, which brings me to my next point, do not check your supplies. Keep them with you at all times, whether you're doing a carry-on or you just have a backpack. Put them in your backpack, put them in your carry-on. Do not check them, because you're giving all your medical supplies to someone else who you don't know, and like, what if they lose it? It's just, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. So I personally typically always do a carry-on, like with my clothing and everything, so I just try and shove my diabetes stuff in there, and then I know it won't get lost. And then if they have to check it, I say like, hey, listen, I have all my medical supplies in here, like let me either take it out real quick or please don't check my bag. Another reason why TSA pre-check is wonderful, because since you have all your supplies with you, because you're not going to check them, because that's not a good idea, you don't have to like take them out, show them everything. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've gone through TSA and they don't even like check what my Dexcom is or whatever. One of the reasons I love Omnipod is it doesn't have enough metal in it to set off the metal detector, so I kind of just walk right through. But before, when I had Medtronic and Tandem, they would swab my palms every time I went through, and they would say like, oh, you know, like, what do you have on your hip? I'd be like, hey, it's an insulin pump, and they'd be like, okay, cool. I've always had a good experience with that. I've never had anyone harass me or anything. Also, I've always gone through the metal detectors. I know they say like don't go through with Dexcom or whatever. I've never had any issues with that, with it making it inaccurate or making it fail. That has never happened to me personally. I do also just want to add that I do have a few coupon codes for some of the things that I showed you. For the insulin vial protector, which is that little rubbery thing that goes around your vial of insulin, it's Cactus 20 and you get 20% off. With the Wherever You Go case, you can also get 20% off with the code Cactus as well. That's it for today, guys. Just a little quick tips and tricks for traveling with type 1. If you think I missed anything, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what your tips and tricks are. Those are just my personal ones. I get a lot of questions on Instagram about what to do, so I'm hoping that answers some of them. A little bit of time has gone by, but I had to refilm the outro because I just like cannot figure out how to do them yet. So definitely give this video a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Follow me on Instagram at the Diabetic Cactus. where I post almost every day on there. Thanks for watching. Bye!